Good morning. So I am down at my favorite place. My favorite place since 2021 has started, down by the river. I'm on the Looking Glass River with my favorite peoples, at least some of them. We got Miss Wendy over here, and her dumb dog is somewhere around here. And today, just listen. Can you hear the river? The river is just trickling and flowing, and then the dog is jumping on the wood. And this week, I guess I want to talk about mental health again, and I've talked about it several times since COVID started, but I want to talk about it again. I work in mental health, so I see the effects on a daily basis of what it does to the chronically mentally ill. But what I think, while it's tough for the people who have chronic mental illness, I'm not trying to take away from that. I want to add to the story of how it has affected people that you don't think of as chronically mentally ill. Young people, depression, how it is affecting their bipolar, their depression, and how it affects every one of us. Feeling isolated, feeling alone, not being able to reach out and touch people, not having physical contact, not having in-person contact, the racism that's going on and that has been exposed in the world. It's not a new situation of racism. It's just being exposed and ripped open even more. And the violence of half of our population. Half of our population seems to really want violence. And I'm getting sidetracked about that, but so I'm going to circle back to mental illness. This week I had to have an extremely difficult conversation with somebody that I really, really love. Someone that's depressed, that has struggled with depression and anxiety even more so since COVID has started. And maybe they've always struggled with it. Maybe it's just now that it's coming to light how extreme depression is hitting people. And because it's right in my life, right in my immediate family, I see it on a regular basis. And I came home and someone that's very, very close to me is so depressed that they stopped going to work, stopped calling in, stopped showing up for their life. And how I handled it is the direct approach. And I've read about it. I do a lot of research on it. It's my area of study. It's my area of passion. But when it's somebody that's so close to me, it's so much harder to have that hard conversation. Are you suicidal? Do you want to hurt yourself? Do you want to hurt anybody else? Are you hurting yourself? Are you cutting? Are you doing things to yourself that hurt you? Are you able to wake up in the morning? Are you able to get up? Do you have reasons to live? Are you doing drugs? Are you wanting to escape from your life? How are you coping with wanting to escape from your life? What are you doing with your feelings? Because I think what is happening, part of what's happening, is in these times of isolation, when we can't hide what we're feeling, we can't bury our feelings or mask our feelings or run from our feelings through gathering with friends and maybe drinking, maybe doing some drugs, but the socialization of gathering can mask a lot of feelings. Going to hang out with friends can mask how lonely, how depressed we are, even when we're with somebody. We can feel temporarily better, but then COVID hit and we're so isolated that we are stuck with all of our feelings. And I know for me and the people around me, struggling with feelings of being enough and all the ways that we could torment and torture ourselves with self-loathing comes to light during isolation. So the conversation I had with this person I love was, you don't get to beat yourself up. Beating yourself up is not going to be the healthy way to do it. It's not going to end up in something positive. And I could say that all day long. But when you're struggling with depression and you don't feel worthy and you don't feel like you can do anything right, and then you don't go to work, it can become overwhelming, the feelings of self-loathing and self-beating up and tormenting ourselves with all the ways that we could fuck up our lives. So if you have somebody who's struggling with depression, ask those questions. Do you want to hurt yourself? Do you want to hurt anybody else? are you hurting yourself? How can I help you? How can I support you? And give some hugs. If these people are in your bubble, if they're in your COVID circle, if they're in your COVID pod, take the time to reach out and make some contact with them. Physical contact, emotional contact. Reach out. We need each other. COVID has shown that more than ever how much we need each other socially and emotionally. Mental health matters. I love you.